have you seen Star Wars?
We've been talking so much about all these Star Wars shows coming out, the Book of Boba Fett, Mando Season 3, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, even the Cassian Andor series, and that kind of left the Ahsoka Tano series on the back burner, but now we have a very interesting appearance in this series, a new lead, if you will, and it is a familiar character that we have seen before in the Star Wars universe and a friend of Ahsoka Tano. But before we get to that, if you guys are new here, I'm Star Wars Only, and we cover only Star Wars on this channel, and we stay up to date on the latest news in Star Wars, so please leave a like on this video to help the channel out, and subscribe if you haven't already. But let's talk about the news for the Ahsoka Tano series. This comes from the Illuminerdi.com, which, despite being a very funny name, they have a credible track record so far, and they say, and while details have been scarce about the series, talking about the Ahsoka Tano series, we have managed to uncover some truly exciting information, especially for fans of the Clone Wars series. According to our sources, Star Wars Ahsoka is looking to cast Barriss Offee. She's listed as a lead character in her 20s to 30s, and they are looking to cast an Asian woman for the role, and they go on to talk about her character. If you guys, of course, don't remember, Barriss Offee was a big deal in the Clone Wars, because not only was she a fellow Padawan like Ahsoka, she was kind of Ahsoka's best friend throughout the series, helping her countless times, and they really had some good missions and they had a good bond. And then eventually Barriss Offee went dark and she turned on the Jedi Order. She felt disenfranchised from them, honestly, and so she bombed the place. I think she killed a few people. It was kind of dark. She set up Ahsoka as the person who was being blamed for it, and she went to trial. But one thing that I think a lot of us forget is that she didn't die. I mean, she just went to prison, technically. So it would work in the sense of timeline that she is around for the Ahsoka Tano series. But I have to say, this is surprising. The surprising that she has lived this long. But we also haven't heard a lot about Barriss Offee since the Clone Wars. So I guess this works because we haven't talked about her so much, so we can say, oh, well, she was just locked up for all this time, or maybe when the Empire fell, she was released. Maybe they tried to turn her into Inquisitor, and she didn't fall for it, or maybe she was an Inquisitor. Maybe that will be the reveal for this. But I think it's big news that the Ahsoka Tano series is casting her as a lead in this show. I think that means that not only is Ahsoka and Barriss going to reunite, that seems a given if we think that Barriss is coming back, but I think Ahsoka is actually going to be a little bit forgiving towards Barriss. Her own master, Anakin Skywalker, is now the most evil man in the universe, and she knows that, but at this point in the timeline, he's passed away. But I'm just saying that she went through that. She saw her master go from the light side to the dark, and the fall of the Republic, the Jedi who lost her way. It doesn't even seem like Ahsoka is truly a Jedi anymore. It seems like she's a light side user who has no allegiance to Jedi or Sith. And that might be the situation that Barriss is in. I think that would be a very unique dynamic, because Barriss could be a little bit more dark side oriented, but she also isn't affiliated with the Jedi or the Sith anymore. So if in the Ahsoka Tano series we see Barriss reunite with Ahsoka and they work together to either find Ezra, to find Thrawn, what have you, I think it's going to be really cool to see how they both talk about the fall of the Jedi Order, because they were there when it was at its height, when they were in their primes as Padawans, and now that they're kind of at the age of being Jedi Masters and they have really probably become one with the Force, how their perspectives on it have changed after all this time is going to be a very unique conversation. This scene where they probably reunite for the first time in, I don't know how many years it's been, 20? It's been 20 odd years, maybe a little bit more, maybe closer to 30. It's going to be crazy. I mean, how is Barriss even going to look? They said they're casting for someone in their 20s or 30s, but is that not a little young for the Ahsoka Tano series? But if that's the age, then maybe it could be a flashback scene or a flashback sequence. But I feel like the Ahsoka Tano series, for being something that is new ground and putting Ahsoka in this new timeline of post Return of the Jedi, maybe post Mandalorian, that would be kind of a waste of time, in my opinion, for live action Ahsoka Tano, is to have flashbacks from her during Rebels or her during the Clone Wars. I think having Barriss Offee come in, make her live action debut alongside Ahsoka Tano, they reunite, they started together in the animation of the Clone Wars, and then they reunite in this Ahsoka Tano series to either team up together for one last time, or maybe Barriss can be the villain of this entire thing. Maybe she can be the antagonist for Ahsoka. That all works, in my opinion, and I'm kind of happy about this, honestly. This is something that I would not have expected at all. Because when I think of Barriss Offee, I have closure on her story. I think of her locked away. I think of her as the last scene that we ever saw her just being guided away from the little courtroom that they were having from the Jedi Temple guards. to me, she's just an afterthought now. I don't really think of her post Order 66, but now that I know that she likely survived it, seeing her in this Ahsoka Tano series, and maybe people who don't know this news, people who aren't caught up to date on all the Star Wars news and stuff like we are, when they see Barriss Offee for the first time in a very long time, on the big screen, in live action, with Ahsoka, that's going to be a big reveal. And also the fact that they're best friends, that they used to be best friends, that's going to add a lot to that relationship, and that makes this series a lot more intriguing. So now the question is going to be, what is Barriss doing there? What is her purpose for teaming up with Ahsoka? Is she going to be an antagonist? Is she going to work with Ahsoka and they team up to hunt down Ezra to fight Thrawn? Is she going to be a yin and yang situation where Ahsoka is not a Jedi, not Sith, but she is a light side Force user, and then we have Barriss Offee, who, like Ahsoka, was a Jedi, but now she leans a little bit more towards the dark. She could be like a dark Jedi, but she's also not a Jedi anymore, so you do see how it's a unique parallel to each other. They're not Jedi, they're not Sith, but one does lean more toward the light, and one leans more toward the dark. I think that's going to be a great combination for a series like this that is dealing with the Jedi being gone, the Sith being gone. This is a new era, and when it comes to the mythos of the Force and Force users, this is a great way to approach it. So Dave Filoni, this is probably something that he's doing, and props to him. He's really continuing that story in a great way of the last time you see Barriss, she's being locked away forever, and now we're going to see her many years later, right back where she started with Ahsoka Tano, how they deal with that fallen relationship, how they deal with the Fallen Order. All of that will be really cool to see these characters reminisce on, but also as an audience member, it's going to be fun to remember that aspect of the relationship as well. So tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about Barriss Offee becoming a lead member in the Ahsoka Tano series, a lead role? Do you think she's going to be great? Do you think they should make her the antagonist? Should she team up with Ahsoka? How is all this going to work? I would love to hear your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like or a comment because it does about the channel. Subscribe to the channel and you can become an Only fan, and it doesn't mean what you think it means. It just means that it's free to subscribe to Star Wars Only. So hit that bell icon, hit the subscribe button, and you will stay up to date on the latest news in Star Wars. I'm Star Wars Only. I'll see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.